Excited to have you, amazing viewer. Thanks for your continued support to my content. If you're new here, this is Comfort for Life, and I bring to you a compilation of TikTok videos for educational purposes. I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok and decided to bring it here because it's kind of got a lot of attraction, and there is something that this Asian guy said that the mother told him that whenever he's in danger, he should run to a black woman. That's the person he should call if he's in trouble. And I wasn't surprised to hear such a response. Listen to this.
That boy that said his mother told him every time when he was a child, his mother told him, if you're in trouble, look for a black woman. Not this one. Not this one. If you're in trouble and you're looking for a black woman and she happens to be named Divine and she got a blonde wig on, you best look elsewhere. Because I ain't going to be no help for nobody but myself, baby. Okay? Because I've been helping y'all before. And I seen the way y'all treated me. Treated me like a little mammy.
You heard it right. That was her response. And it also left me wondering, where do black women get their help from? What did your mama told you? Where do you get your help from? Like, where do you get your help from? Where? Let me know.
Ever in trouble out there in the real world, look for a black woman.
I'm here to tell you why you shouldn't do that. Black women in general, we've been adultified from very, very young. There were 5-6-year-old black girls that are already being expected to look after their siblings. The whole of our lives, we have been adultified in every way possible. So the last thing you need to do is, when we finally have a chance to rest and relax, and we finally know how to say no to certain things, we finally know when someone's taking the out of us, last thing you need to do is now start alerting human beings on the street that if they're in trouble to look for a black woman. Don't do that. Because I feel like we can't rest as black women. Black women are lovely by nature. We're caring, we're nurturing, but a lot of that care and that nurturing come from the fact that we've been adultified. So we naturally feel like we have to take charge. We naturally feel like we have to make people feel better. We naturally feel like we have to look after people. But what you're doing in spreading that message is now you're bringing the adultification that we suffered with as children into adulthood. I'm not the one to look for when you're in trouble. I'm so sorry. I'll help as best as I can, but look for anybody. I feel like people don't understand when a black woman makes a video and says, oh, don't look for me. Everyone's like, oh, she's mean, she's aggressive. No. You don't understand that's a dangerous message that you're spreading. We're not your saviors. We've got our own lives, we've got our own things to do, and we've already spent so much of our lives. I was speaking to a woman yesterday talking about how she got 5 brothers. She's the youngest. She's everybody's mum. So when I make videos about, oh, my mum's telling me one thing and telling my brother another thing, it's not a joke. There's so many things that come from a black woman or a black girl being adultified, right? Obviously a black woman can't be adultified, but if there's another word, somebody give it to me. But there's just too much pressure on black women to be somebody's savior, to change somebody in this sense. No, sorry, do it yourself. And that's women in general, right? But this video was talking about black women, so I'm talking about black women. Black girls are adultified like crazy. So when we get to 19, 20, and we finally can say, oh, I can't lie, I'm not doing that. And it usually isn't even 19, 20. Sometimes it's even, I only learned to say no at 26, right? Don't then start telling strangers on the road to look for me when they're in trouble. I've just learned to rest. Please, don't do that.
But I wanted to take a different perspective on his appreciation. And I want to say to my black women that we are the nurturers of the world. We have always been the saviors of a sort. And I just want to implore my black women that in the midst of all of the appreciation and the degradation, to save yourself. There is no one coming to save you. There is no one that is coming to truly give us what we deserve. And so I just want us to do better about loving ourselves, making sure we pour back into us, because the world expects us to do what we've always done, and that is to save them. I love y'all. I hope you love yourselves.
It's hard not to get annoyed when non-black people talk about how black women will save them, but it gets even more annoying when you hear that from non-black people of color, because a couple of thoughts cross my mind. One, where did you learn that from? I mean, I know where you learned it from, but why did you accept it so easily? And two, why do you feel more reliant on us than the people in your own community? I think they think it's a compliment to say, black women will save us. Black women are the most powerful beings in the world. They're superhuman. And it's like, no, we are human just like you. We are not any more or less capable of getting things done than you are. It's just that you were taught that whatever you don't want to do, we will do it. And I don't like that. That's actually not cool. I'm not saying that you can't engage with us, but I am saying, like, what makes you think that we're superhuman and can solve problems that you can't solve yourself? It's like, do you ever stop to consider that maybe we don't want to help you? If we say no, if we say we actually don't want to, or we don't have the emotional bandwidth, or we just frankly don't give a shit, then we're the bad guys and people call us everything but a child of God. Have you ever considered the fact that we are basically forced to overperform, because if we don't overperform, we'll be seen as lazy or bitchy or inconsiderate or selfish? This shows up in a lot of different areas of life. If you think about how many Black women feel the need to over excel in academics and in the workplace, and a lot of times they don't really get recognition for that, it's because we're expected to do like twice the amount of work for just basic human recognition. The most frustrating thing about it as a Black woman, though, is that I genuinely do like helping people. I like being kind to people, but I often have to question, like, do I genuinely like helping people? Do I like being kind to people, or was I just conditioned to be that way? Because as a Black woman, if I act human, if I have bad days, if I say I don't want to help you, I'll be painted as a villain. I don't particularly like feeling that way, that a trait that I have, ambition, kindness, empathy, that these are things that are just kind of not really appreciated in me as a person because they're expected of me as a Black woman. Like, yeah, of course this Black woman is going to work like more than she should. She's Black. That's what Black women do. Unless they don't, then they're lazy welfare queens. The funniest thing about the mammy archetype is that it never really went away. Not really. It just kind of changed form. I mean, there are people that romanticize old movies where there's like the stereotypical, like, bigger Black woman who is motherly, but also very stern, but also very kind and a sweet demeanor to the white protagonist. We see that. That turned into the Black best friend trope, where it's like the girl who's like really sassy and always has advice, but never really has any life of her own, and always is willing to bend over backwards to help the white protagonist. And that's split into two different things: the disposable Black girlfriend who exists to teach the protagonist about how to love and how to be a caring partner before fucking off somewhere, and the therapist who sits there and listens to all the white protagonist's problems without really having any problems of her own or a life of her own. When we're not needed to help or give advice or be seen as the therapist, we just kind of fuck off somewhere. Like, we're not really acknowledged until we're needed. And you would think that adults would understand that the media does not always reflect real life, that there will be times where you go to a Black woman and she's not going to be nice to you, and she's not going to be kind and willing to bend over backwards to help you, and that doesn't necessarily mean she's a bad person, it just means she's human.
I agree with all these creators, because as Black people, especially as in Africa right now, we really take responsibility. I remember I was still a young girl in high school, and I was to always come home early because I have to like cook for my siblings who are younger than me. I had those piled clothes that I had to wash, we take responsibility at a very young age, and whenever you are the eldest, you have to take like responsibility of all your younger siblings. And that's like, we grow with such thing that sometimes we don't want to see anyone suffer, we don't want to see anyone in trouble, and sometimes we act like little heroes that we shouldn't be there to save everyone. But I also agree with this creator. Went on to say that don't forget about yourself, take care of yourself. Like, who looks after you? Take care of yourself. So it's very important for us to know that since we have known that we've been raised to always be in charge, always take responsibility, we also have to know that we should also look after our own self and our own well-being. So that's my 2 cents on this. I don't know what you think about this video. I would let your thoughts in the comment section. Drop your thoughts there. We are here to learn, let's interact, and stay tuned for more videos. Goodbye. Appreciate.